Alright, what's up guys? Yeah, I wasn't really planning on posting this video. I usually just create my trade recaps privately and then just use them for reflection and stuff, but I decided to kind of experiment today with making videos and like making a dumb thumbnail. I just posted it on my Instagram. A lot of people said I should release it. So I guess here we are. I'm doing a trade recap post. So I don't really make videos, so this is gonna be pretty bad, which is why I got this clown music on. Clown music also because some of the mistakes I made today were just comical, like should not have been, like I just shouldn't have done them, but we'll get right into it. So I always start on the daily chart on both ES and NQ because they are correlating assets. I can use that to see SMTs and other types of divergences in the market. So I started out with a previous week high markup, previous day low markup, previous week low markup on both charts. I have a previous week high markup and previous week low markup because today is Monday. So I want to keep that up, see if today maybe we sweep the high or if we get Tuesday to sweep the high. It's good to have these levels up because they are pools of liquidity that price it's more than likely price will target these pools of liquidity sooner or later. So after that, actually on the daily, I did mark out this fair value gap down here on both ES and NQ. It is a little bit bigger on NQ. I'll show you guys more why I marked out that and why a lot of the clownery happened because of that. So from the daily, I'll always go down to the 4 hour. I use top-down analysis, so we'll go from high time frames to low time frames to get a real fractal point of view on the market. So as soon as I hopped on and did my analysis this morning, I seen that we were trading through a 4 hour fair value gap that has been printed already and a 4 hour that has been printed early this morning, overnight session. And seeing both of these on the same, so close like this, kind of skewed my perception of the market and didn't really give me a very good bias for today. I usually rely on high time frame order flow to give me my bias. So what I did kind of to get around that is I just simplified my trading and came down to the fundamentals again. So I noticed that we already on ES we had already traded through this 4 hour. So at the time of trading, well, at the time of trading, we were respecting this 4 hour. So at the time that I was trading, we were respecting this 4 hour on both charts. In time frame alignment with the 4 hour, we'll go down to the 15-minute chart, and I'll do that on both. So yeah, I hopped onto the market around 5:30 MST, so what, 8:30 New York time. But as soon as I hopped on the market, I seen that we were consolidating, moving sideways, not doing a whole lot. So usually in a scenario like this, I'll mark out the external high and external low of the consolidatory range. Wait for one of those to get tapped into. Alright, let me skip this one. This is absolutely ridiculous. You don't gotta clown on me this much, Spotify, just because I took it L. Alright. Alright, yeah, this is more of my jazz right here. Sounds like I'm really over here predicting the markets. Alright, let me shut up. So yeah, we have this external high up here. We have this external low. We as well had him on NQ. However, I don't know if you guys can spot this, but when market opened, well, early in the morning when market opened, we did sweep London lows and we failed on ES. So right away, that gives me an SMT. Right here. And right here. So an SMT is just showing me the weaker pair. So obviously in this case, ES is the lagging indicator. NQ is stronger because it was able to take this low. So right away, these pairs usually will follow each other. So as soon as I see that this low wasn't taken, I see these as targets. And this kind of looks like trendline liquidity. I don't use trend lines because that's, well, I can't say that word on YouTube, but yeah, as soon as I seen that, I figured that I didn't really have to look at NQ anymore because if we already took this low, there's no reason to come back down here. Maybe to come sweep some of this liquidity, but that was after the fact I had already taken my position, so we'll just get rid of that. So on the 15, obviously on the 4-hour, I wanted to see lower because at this point in the charts, we were respecting this 4-hour. We did sweep it a little earlier in the overnight session. So I really just wanted to see some manipulation higher to get me down, to get some of the liquidity from up here to send price back down here. So I marked out this high, and knew that these could be potential targets. So in alignment with the 15, we'll go down to the 1 minute. Give me a sec. All right, so this red line represents market open, and when I started recording, I'll also include some of the live trading recordings from this morning that I recorded because I do record my trades live for back testing and reflection purposes. So on our way up, well, at open, manipulated down, open back up. We went up, we created this fair value gap, swept the high. After we swept the high, we displaced through that fair value gap. We got our change in the state here. And that's really all I need to see for my entries is liquidity sweep, inverse fair value gap, and changing the state, or fair value gap, changing the state. And I'm going to get rid of this so it doesn't clutter my chart. But from there, I placed a limit order right up here. So I just placed it up here because I'm not going to enter right here. Like, price is already right here. I'm not going to enter here and get a bad fill price. So I set a limit order in anticipation that price will come back up here and enter me in the trade. And as soon as that happened, well, actually, first, I thought it was going to get front run. Price immediately almost came down and tapped into my target. But I did see on the 15-minute that we still had some sell-side liquidity, trendline liquidity, that still has not been taken. So I went back on the 1 minute. I left my limit order there, and I did get tapped into the trade. I got tapped into the trade with 5 micros, which I'll kind of go into where I went wrong with that in a couple of minutes. But got tapped into the trade. Price was sent lower, got it back at retest up into here, and we hit TP. But you may be asking, how did I lose this trade? This is a perfect setup. Well, first of all, I had an experimental mindset today because I just opened up another eval for my trading, and I thought I wanted to start using micros because it'll give me similar risk, similar rewards, but I'll be able to scale in and out of trades and take partials and just stuff like that that'll help my trading. But today I was kind of just seeing like how many micros should I really be using, and a lot of this could have been avoidable by just actually calculating my risk and calculating through points and ticks and whatnot. Yet I did not do that today, which was kind of dumb. So as soon as I got tapped in, I was kind of just dragging my stop to see what risk was looking like with 5 micros. And I had my stop right around here, which was $200. And I was kind of like, I was really surprised, like, why is my stop so high and I'm not risking nothing? And that's when I realized I heavily under leveraged. But I left my stop there, and then I dragged my TP down to here, and I noticed that my take profit was super low. Like, this was like, this is literally a 1 to 5, so you can only imagine that my TP was like $250, and I'm used to making like a lot more than $1,000 per trade. So I was just like, damn, what am I gonna do here? Like, I don't really want to take a small win and just run with that. I let greed get to me, and I ended up doing the dumbest thing I've done in a while. I dragged my TP all the way down to that daily BISI I was talking about down here, and that's where everything started crumbling. After I did that, I went to the restroom. Yep, I did it. I went to the restroom, and I just forgot about the trade. I didn't really care about it. Like, I'm working on better psychology and not really caring about my trade, so I just left it. And by the time I came back, well, first of all, my stop was up here. This was a horrible position, horrible RR. For just number one, that was one of the biggest mistakes. I had horrible RR during the entire trade. And with my stop loss up here, I came back and we were right around here, and I was like, okay, this is where I knew I was just wrong. I accepted my loss, and in my favor, this candle just god wicked right up, and I got stopped out. Luckily, I got stopped out, and slippage didn't give me the loss that I originally had up here, which was $200. I only got stopped out for $66 because of slippage, which worked in my favor. I was totally prepared to take the $200 loss too, but $66, I'm not gonna really complain. But yeah, I think the biggest lesson that I learned from today is, although my hypothesis was correct, I allowed greed and poor position sizing awareness to undermine a winning trade. I became over ambitious after seeing the limited profit potential, and instead of sticking with my original plan, I should have accepted the smaller planned win rather than risking the trade by extending my target unnecessarily. If I didn't extend my target or move my stop loss to where I was just risking what I usually risk, I should have just kept my stop loss where I would normally have placed it with a mini and kept my target where I normally would place it on a normal trade. Yet I didn't. I got too deep into the experimental mindset, and I threw the trade. It was a winning trade. I would have been totally okay with taking a smaller win. Yet I let greed and undermining my own trade get to me. I think if there's anything you guys could take out of this is just stick to your plan, stick to your rules. There's nothing to really look for. Once you start looking for more, and that's when you start failing. Also, I think what I could have done better is obviously do the correct due diligence to see how much I was going to make, see how much I was going to risk before entering the chart. But yeah, I hope you guys could have gotten something from this. It was a pretty quick video. Had a couple people on Instagram just telling me to release it, so I thought, why not? I might as well release it. If you guys want to see more content like this, or strategy videos, or informational videos, or knowledge, psychology, just let me know. I kind of enjoyed the process of making this video, as well as like the stupid thumbnail and the funny music. But yeah, y'all just let me know. I'll include a couple clips of the live trading right after this.